So last class we had discussed up to the size of the weld. Now today we will move with the design of a welded connection. The basic design criteria required or need to be understood for the design of a welded connection. The next one is maximum size of the weld. So 10.5.8 fillet weld applied to edge of a plate or section. Where a fillet weld is applied to the square edge of a part, the specified size of the weld should generally be at least 1.5 mm less than the edge thickness in order to avoid washing down of the exposed areas. That is, if I am seeing here, see IS 800 2007 figure 17, it shows there are two plates being connected by a lap joint with the help of weld. So the weld size must be, the maximum size must be, this is the thickness of the plate minus 1.5 mm. And if it is a rounded edge, this is a rounded edge actually, this is a curve like this, the end of a section will be actually a curved path, it will be actually like this. So this is a curved path, this is a curved path. Then the thickness of the maximum size of the weld should not exceed 3/4 thickness of the section of the toe. That is, this is the thickness of the section of the toe. Then the maximum should be, this value should be 3/4 of t. So if I am writing here, maximum size of weld for a square edge, maximum size of the weld is thickness of the plate, that is thickness of the plate minus 1.5 mm. So if I am connecting with this plate, then the thickness of the plate minus 1.5 mm here. This is thickness of the plate minus 1.5 mm, and this plate, then thickness of the plate minus 1.5. This is ensured so that there won't be any washing of the material. And if it is a rounded edge, the maximum size of the weld is, then the maximum size of the weld is 3/4 thickness of the toe. This is thickness of this toe, 3/4 t. That is the maximum size of the weld. So now you know what is the minimum size. Minimum size depends on the thickness of the plate, and maximum size also depends on the thickness of the plate. So your weld size should lie in between these two values. Now the effective length of the weld, it is not by L effective. That is, you will be having the welded connection. I am having two plates like this. I am having two plates. Now I will be connecting this plate by applying the weld over here. So if we look the section, it will be, the welding part will be here, somewhat here. So this whole length of the weld will not take the load. Only some part of this weld will take the load, and that length is called as, or that length which effectively takes the load is called as L effective, and that is, the length of the weld will be actually this much. That is L effective. I will take it as from this to this length, I will call it as L effective. That is total length, that is actual length of the weld minus 2 times size of the weld. That is this distance, that will be S, and this distance S. So this much length of the weld will be effectively taking the load. This much will be effectively taking the load, and that is called as L effective, and you will get this one as L actual minus 2 times size of the weld. Or I could write actual length of the weld is equal to what? L effective plus 2 times size of the weld. Now effective area of the weld means what? I have told you effective area means what? That is effective length into throat thickness. That is, suppose I am having two plates like this. I will be applying the weld in this way. The weld will be applied like this. I have the throat area in this way. Throat thickness, this is my throat thickness. This is my throat thickness. So the effective length will be, so this area is my effective area. That is, I could write it as TT into L effective. That is, I can write the effective area of the weld or throat area is equal to L effective, that is length of the effective load taking weld into throat thickness. Is the plane will be somewhat like this. The plane will be like this. This is TT and this is L effective. Now I could say the strength of the weld or the shear strength of the weld or load carrying capacity of the weld is equal to the permissible shear stress in weld into area resisting, that is the effective area of the weld. Now we need to know what is the permissible shear stress in the weld or permissible strength of the weld. That is, I could say that given in IS 800 2007 10.5.7, the design stresses in weld, that is the permissible stress or shear stress in the weld if we are considering shop weld, there are two types of weld. One is shop weld and the other is site weld. Okay, so when you are considering shop weld, the fillet weld, design strength of a fillet weld, it is denoted by FWD, shall be based on its throat area and shall be given by FWD. This is FWD actually. This is denoted as FWD by the code is equal to FWN divided by gamma MW, where FWN is equal to FU by root 3, where FU is equal to smaller of the ultimate stress of the weld or of the parent metal, and gamma MW is given as partial safety factor given in table number 5. Given in table number 5, you could see in table number 5, for weld, gamma MW is equal to 1.25 if the fabrication is done in the shop, and if the fabrication is done in the field or site, then it is 1.5. So based on the type of question or based on the type where the welding is done, it depends. So you can write gamma MW is equal to 1.25, it is shop fabrication, and 1.5 it is field fabrication. So FWD I could write it as is equal to FWD into what is effective area of the weld. Effective area of the weld means what? L effective into throat thickness. That is, I could write this one as FWD as what? FWN divided by gamma MW into L effective into TT. Now FWN I could write it as what? That is FU by root 3, where FU is the ultimate stress of the weld or the parent metal. That is your ultimate stress of the metal being connected or the weld. Now if most of the cases we will make it, or we will take both as same because it will have a uniformity, or we will have a metal which is weld which is having higher stress than the parent metal, but we will take the smaller of those two. That is, we will always take the strength of the parent metal, that is your plate. Now I could write this FWN as what? FU by root 3, that is FU divided by root 3, that is the FWN into gamma MW to L effective into TT is the load, that is carrying capacity of the weld or shear strength of the weld or strength of the weld. That is, I could write the strength of the weld is equal to FU by root 3 gamma MW, that is FU by root 3 gamma MW into L effective into TT. So this is the permissible shear stress or permissible stress into the effective area that is taking the load. So I hope you are clear with this load carrying capacity of the weld. Now based on this understanding, we have certain design steps for a fillet weld. That is, assume the size of the weld based on the thickness of the member to be joined. That is, you need to take the size, minimum size you have one criteria and maximum size you have one criteria. Based on that, you fix the size of the weld required for the welding. Now equate the design strength of the weld to the factored external load to determine the effective length. That is, the design load to be taken or the factored load to be taken will be given. Equating that to the strength of the weld, we will get the length required for the weld. Now provide either a longitudinal fillet weld or transverse fillet weld along with the longitudinal fillet weld as per the Cordell recommendations. Provide suitable end returns also. That is, if I am saying I am having two plates, I am connecting it together, and another plate like this, I am connecting it together, so I can apply the weld in this way. So this type of providing the weld is called as longitudinal fillet weld. Now the same plate I could connect it in another way. I could connect it in this way also, see. And this type of arrangement is called as transverse welding. So I could give it along with longitudinal weld and transverse weld, I could arrange it. So based on your design, you can either give this way or this way. And if you are giving only longitudinal weld, you should provide end return. That is, you will extend this weld to certain distance, and that distance is called as your end return. And the code suggests this end return as 2 times size of the weld. The code suggests the end return as 2 times the size of the weld. Now we will move on to the question. Determine the size and length of a fillet weld for the lap joint to transmit a factored load of 120 kN. Assume side weld and Fe 410 grade steel. So you are given the factored load to be taken by the weld is 120. You are asked to determine the size and length of the weld for a lap joint given side condition and Fe 410 steel. So first we will start with the given. This is also given the question, that is 120 kN needs to be transmitted. This is actually called as a gusset plate. You will study this, what is this gusset plate later. That is a member used to connect, or the plate used to connect the member. All the connection will be happening in this gusset plate. Suppose this is a truss, then the other element will be going in this way, the other element will be going in this way, one element going this way. So there is a connection will be made through this gusset plate. So in this question it is given a 75 mm by 8 mm plate is given. We are required to find the size and length of the fillet weld. So we will start with the minimum size of the weld from table number 21. That is, you can see, since the size of the plate is up to 8 mm, I could take the minimum size of the weld required is 3 mm from table number 21. That is, from table number 21, I could take minimum size of the weld is 3 mm since thickness is 0 to 10 mm. Now the maximum size of the weld, I will get it from clause number 10.5.8.1 as thickness of the plate minus 1.5. We have take here, there is a joint is actually 90 degree. That is, one plate is kept over another plate. So if I am looking from here, the other section I am looking, if I am looking, this will be like this. One plate will be here, the other plate is being joined this way. So this is a 90 degree. This is making 90 degree. So this maximum size of the weld is what? Thickness of the plate minus 1.5 mm. Thickness of the plate minus 1.5 mm. So that is, thickness is 8 mm. This is 8 mm. This is having 8 mm minus 1.5. That you will get it as 6.5. So your size of the weld should lie in between these two. This we will assume a weld size of 6 mm. Now the strength of the weld or load carrying capacity of the weld is equal to what? The area resisting, that is effective area. Effective area I could write it as L effective into throat thickness. That is, this I could write it as effective area into permissible stress. This effective area is what? L effective into throat thickness into permissible stress is Fu by root 3 in Fu by root 3 gamma mw. This Tt is what? K into size of the weld. So this we have discussed before. So I can write the load carrying capacity or strength of the weld is equal to effective area, that is L effective into Tt, that is L effective into K into S into Fu by root 3 into gamma mw. Now from table number 22 you will get the value for K as 0.7 when this is 90 degree, because we are making it as 90 degree weld is being done. So from table number 22 you will get the value for K as what? For 60 to 90 degree, K value is 0.7. Now size of the weld we have taken as 6 mm. Fu given in the question is 410 MPa, that is 410 Newton per mm square. Gamma mw, since this is a side weld, we will take it from table number 5. You will get it as 1.5. So applying this equation, that is 120 is the factored load is equal to L effective into 0.7, that is K value into S is 6 mm into 410 divided by root 3 into 1.5. You will get this L effective as 181.05 mm. Assuming only longitudinal welds, that is, we are assuming weld only at these points. We are assuming only weld at these points. We are not assuming over here. So there is only longitudinal weld. I'll get effective length of the weld per side. That is, you are having the weld over. You are welding over here as well as here. So the total length is what? 181. So at one point it is what? 181 divided by 2, that is 90.5. I'll take it as 91 mm. Now you need to apply the end return. The minimum lap required. Now we have the minimum lap required, that is 10.5.1.2 you will get. That is a minimum. This is called as the lap length. This is called as the lap length. So the minimum lap required is given in 10.5.1.2, that is either 4 into 8, that is 32 mm, or 40 mm, whichever is more. So here 4 into 8 means the thickness of the connected member, that is 4 into 8 32, or 40 mm, whichever is more. You will get it as 40 mm, which means this is 91 mm. The minimum lap required is 40 mm, but we are providing what? 90 mm, which means this is okay. Now we need to provide the end return. We need to provide the end return at this point, that is 2 times 10.5.1.1 gives the end return required is 2 times size of the weld, that is 2 into 6, that is we will get it as 12 mm. That is here we will be providing a 12 mm distance, that is end return. So I could say the overall length of the weld of the member, that is L overall or L actual, is equal to L effective, that is 91 into 2 plus end return. At 2 edges we need to provide the end return, that is 2 into 12. This total length of the weld we will get it as 206 mm. So if I am drawing it, I'll get 91 mm L effective plus 2 times end return, that is 91 plus 12 here in this direction and 91 plus 12 in this direction, that is total 206 mm will be my effective length or the total length of the weld. So the size of the weld in the question you will get it as 6 mm and total length of the weld as 206 mm. This completes the design of a welded connection. Now we will move on to the next question. Design a suitable longitudinal fillet weld to connect the plate so as to transmit a pull equal to full strength of the plate given Fe 410 steel and shop welding condition. So in the question it is given, it is not given what is the load to be taken. It is only given so as to transmit a pull equal to full strength of the plate. That is, we need to find what is the full strength of the plate, and given only the condition is it is shop welding and Fe 410 grade steel is used. So first we need to find what is the full strength of the plate. So you could see in clause number 6.2 we have discussed this before. Design strength due to yielding of a cross section. That is, if I am having a plate, the plate may yield by or plate may fail by yielding. Then the design strength of the member under axial tension TDG as governed by yielding of the cross section is given by TDG is equal to AG, that is the gross area, into yield stress Fy divided by gamma m naught. That is for Fe 410 grade steel, I will get Fy as 250 Newton per mm square and your Fu as 410 Newton per mm square. And this gamma m naught value will get from table number 5. You'll get this value as gamma m naught as 1.1. This thing we have discussed while while finding the efficiency of a bolted connection. Same here, the strength of the plate is determined by this value. So this is the strength of the weld, that is what this much amount of load can be taken by the plate. So that is to be designed, that is we need to design for the full capacity of the plate, and that is the design strength of the weld, design strength of the plate in yielding. It is given two plates being connected, 100 mm by 12 mm plate and 160 mm by 12 mm plate. It is equal to carry the full strength of the small plate. Now we need to determine the full capacity of the small plate, that is given Fe is equal to 410, that is Fu is equal to 410 Newton per mm square and yield strength is equal to 250 Newton per mm square, and I will take gamma m naught as 1.1. So the design strength of the plate by 6.2, clause number 6.2, you get as TDG is equal to AG Fy by gamma m naught. Since we are considering the smaller plate, I can say smaller plate, the AG is what? 100 width into thickness is 12 mm. 100 thickness, that is 100 into 12 into Fy is 250 divided by 1.1, that is gamma m naught is 1.1. You'll get it as 272.7 kilonewton. That is, this much load has to be taken by the weld. Now the question is similar to your previous question, that is this much amount of load is to be taken. Now the question is similar to your previous question, that is you'll get it as, before you had this 120, now you are calculating the design strength of the weld, design strength of the plate, that is 272. Now this much load has to be taken by your weld, that is the strength of the weld or load carrying capacity of the weld. I could write it as L effective into Ks, that is effective area into stress in weld, permissible stress in weld, that is your Fu by root 3 into gamma mw. From table number 22, this is a 90 degree between the connection, that is K, I'll get it as 0.7. Minimum size of the weld from table number 21, I'll get it as 5 mm, and maximum size of the weld I'll get it as from 10.5.8.1, that is 12 minus 1.5, that is 10.5 mm. That is because we are connecting a 12 mm plate, that is 12 minus 1.5 will get as 10.5 mm, which means assume the size of the weld between 10.5 and 5, that I will take it as 10 mm. Now I could write that load carrying capacity, that is we have got as the design strength of the plate, that is 272.7 into 10 raised to 3 is equal to L effective, we need to find out, that is into K. K is 0.7, S is 10 mm, that is size of the weld, into Fu is what? 410, that is Fe 410 grade steel is used. So means Fu is equal to 410 divided by root 3 into gamma mw. In this question it is given it is shop welding. So when you go to table number table number 5, you'll get the value for gamma mw as from table number 5, gamma mw as 1.25 for shop welding, because in shop we could assure a good quality control, so the factor of safety required is less. So L effective, I'll get it as 205.74 mm. Now we'll go for checking the minimum lab distance. Assuming only longitudinal welds, effective length of the weld per side is 205.74 divided by 2, you'll get nearly 103 mm. Now checking the minimum lab required, that is from 10.5.1.2, that is 4 into thickness of the member, that is 48 or 40 mm, whichever is more. Which means you will get this value as 48 mm, which means I could write this is okay, because this is 103 mm. Minimum lab required according to the Cordell condition is 48 mm, but you are providing 103, which means this is safe. That is, I could write the end return as 2 times size of the weld, that is 2 into 10, that is 20 mm. You get the overall length of the weld for the member as L overall, or L actually, is equal to 103 into 2 plus 20 into 2, that is 246 mm. That is, I could draw it as the weld will be provided this way, that is this length is 246 divided 2, that is 123 mm, and this weld length is. So I hope you are clear with the design of a welded connection. The next question is a tie member consisting of IS angle 80 by 50 by 8 is welded to a 12 mm thick gusset plate at the site. Design weld to transmit the load equal to design strength of the member. You write down this question. We will discuss this in a live session. So I hope you are clear up to here. Thank you and have a nice day.